Hi everyone, it's Fjordström and this is the iPhone 11. It's September 20, 2019 and it's the launch day of the iPhone 11. After watching Apple's keynote 10 days ago, I couldn't wait to upgrade my iPhone 7 and decided for the first time to line up at the Apple Store to get the latest iPhone. In this video I'll be unboxing the device, the Black Silicone Case, set up the iPhone and give my first impressions. Now you might notice that the box isn't wrapped anymore, and that's because the Apple Store offered to install a glass screen protector. I however haven't had a look at what's inside the box myself, so I didn't set up the phone either. I decided to go with a black version, so if I'd like to have another color I could just switch covers and not be stuck with a certain color combination. But that's just personal taste. Let me know which color you would get if you would buy an iPhone now. And this is the 6.1-inch screen. As you can see, the Apple Store already put here that screen protector. The phone has an aluminum frame and a shiny glass back. By the way, the black iPhone isn't really black, but it's more like a dark grey, which is hard to see in camera, but it is really more greyish. On the left side you have the mute switch and the volume keys as usual, and there are also antenna bands on the top and bottom. The bottom of the phone has a speaker and microphone grills, and of course the lightning port. Yes, it isn't USB-C, it would have been cool, but on the positive side I can continue using all my cables and dongles and even my microphone that I'm using right now. On the right side we have the SIM card slot, power button and two more antenna bands. The back has the matte glass camera bump, which honestly doesn't look that bad. It's thinner than most of us expected, and the double camera setup looks fine to me. Now, although the camera bump is thinner, if you place your naked iPhone on a table, it will of course wobble. But then again, if you put a case on it, it won't anymore. Then now what's inside the box? As usual, you have the Designed by Apple in California leaflet with some more information and of course Apple stickers. A pair of earpods are included as well, which is always a nice addition, although they no longer ship with an included dongle, something that was included still with my iPhone 7. And finally we have the usual 5-watt power brick. Yes, it's just 5 watts still, but if you have an iPad Pro or a recent MacBook, you can also use your USB-C power brick to fast charge the iPhone. You just still need a USB-C to Lightning cable and you're good to go. When it comes to official cases, you can only choose between the black or greyish black or transparent. I chose the black one, which we'll unbox now. And here it is. As usual, it has a velvet type texture inside and a rubbery texture on the outside. What I like about Apple's silicone cases is that the rubbery texture on the outside doesn't make your iPhone slip that quickly, unlike the leather ones. By the way, in real life, the color of the case is very similar to the matte texture of the camera bump. So let's start up the device. First thing is the display. Yes, it's an LCD screen in 2019, and yes, it has a liquid retina display which has the same pixel density as the iPhone 8, or in my case from the 7, but as I'm coming from the 7, I don't really have problems with it. I mean, you really need to look very closely to the screen to find pixels. By the way, the 2018 iPad Pro with its seriously gorgeous screen has a lower pixel density and no one's really talking about it. But don't get me wrong, OLED is of course superior, and like in the iPhone 11 Pro, it would have been really nicer if it would also be in the iPhone 11. But personally, I'm willing to pay $300 less, get the same screen as my previous iPhone, but with loads of new features. The cool thing about setting up an Apple device is you can just hold it nearby an iPhone or an iPad running iOS 11 or higher, and it will quickly set up your iPhone. And now it's activating. Time now to set up Face ID, which is also new for me on my iPhone, and to set it up you need to move your head around twice. Next, I can restore from a backup, Mac, PC, or from an Android device. In my case, I just realized that my devices are running iOS 13.1 beta, while this iPhone is running iOS 13, so I guess I have to set it up as a new device. By the way, as you probably have noticed, everything is already set up in dark mode, probably to show off that, hi, we finally have dark mode. And finally, you get to see now the new gestures, which aren't really new if you already have an iPad. Let's just check the settings. Yep, it's iOS 13.0, which means it still has some bugs, but luckily next week Apple will release iOS 13.1 and iPadOS 13.1, so those bugs will disappear very quickly. By the way, for those of you who are upgrading from the iPhone 7 or 8, or even the 6 or 6S, this is a difference in size. On video, the difference seems to be doable, but in real life the iPhone 11 is obviously bigger. and needs some getting used to, or at least for me. The iPhone 11 is also thicker and heavier than the iPhone 7 and 8, but in return you get a larger screen and a larger battery. Now the main differences for me upgrading now is that I can finally enjoy Face ID, Animoji, fast charging, wireless charging, much better battery life, better cameras, a wide-angle camera, and portrait mode. Of course, there's still much more to discover, but I'll talk about it in one of my next videos. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing to stay up to date on more of my iPhone 11, iOS 13 and iPadOS 13 videos. And also check out my channel for more about iPadOS 13 and all of its cool, fancy new features. I hope to see you very soon in the next video.